think moving on to the theme two on future of learning specifically. So, I mean, 90s and 2000s, we have seen e-learning, the dominance of e-learning, and instructor-led training was always there. And post-COVID, we found that virtual instructor-led training and digital learning actually became very, very famous. And Josh Bersin, typically HR leader, talks about learning in the flow of work. Added to that with ChatGPT, it's helping the learning professionals to create curriculum and lesson plans for any topic using AI. So given this context, how do you see the future of learning, Shubhayu?
I have been very privileged to work with some fantastic learning professionals. And, one fundamental thing I've learned in that journey is that, while AI, digital, e-learning, these are for me enablers or tools to help a learner assimilate more and make it more relevant. But fundamentally, I don't think something has changed, which is your learning outcome based or not, right? I mean, having a list of learning programs and then, having a fantastic tool to help people learn is perhaps not the only solution. We need to really take a step back and ask ourselves, is our learning content that we are creating relevant for the audience that is attending that learning, whether it's through, digital, whether it's through e-learning, whether it's through instructor-led learning, whatever be the case, right? So I think that's very, very important. I mean, unless you have that clearly designed and designed effectively. See, remember, I mean, this is one thing which I've always believed, and you might have heard about this when we work together. When you go to a doctor, you don't tell the doctor that I need paracetamol and I need this medicine, right? You tell the doctor that these are your symptoms. This is what you are suffering from. The doctor is the expert who will tell you what you exactly need. And it could be psychosomatic. There's nothing wrong with you. It's something to do with the mind.
Yeah.
Right. So there's no medicine required. Could be one solution. So for me, a learning leader or a learning professional is a doctor.
Right.
Right. You don't go to a learning person and say, I need training in communication. You need to go and have that discussion with the learning professional, or the learning professional would facilitate a discussion where we'll try to understand the change in behaviors that are required, the upgradation skill that is required, right? And then design a curriculum which is specific to the need so that there's an outcome at the end of it, right? So all your AI, I mean, see, all this is very, very useful, right? I mean, it helps things move faster. It also helps address different ways people learn, right? I mean, at the end of the day, here we are talking about a very complex world where you have a workforce of multiple generations.
Yes.
Please also remember one thing that we tend to kind of have a very kind of broad brush sweep approach is that we address generation by years, which I think fundamentally needs some relook at, because remember, somebody who was born in 2000, say, 2000, right? In Bangalore versus somebody born in 2000 in Durgapur, right?
Yeah.
Their view, their values are very, very different.
Absolutely.
Their learning ability to assimilate learning could be very, very different, right? So, just kind of saying that, hey, you know what, since they're all born in 2000, this is their way of learning.
Yeah.
These are the engagements of motivation.
Yeah.
I don't think is the right approach. So it's a very complex world. So to make learning effective, I think the ability to understand what is the actual need and designing a curriculum or curate a curriculum which is going to make relevance and have an impact, whether it's a skill enhancement or a behavior enhancement, I think has not changed. Rather, it's become even more complex, right? So while you will have all the platforms and the tools, some of it, by the way, is also to predict what could be learning needs, right? So a very strong AI enabled with enough data at the back end will help you predict some of the learning requirements.
Absolutely.
But you still need to look at having a conversation with the manager and the person to understand what exactly, time and again we hear communication skills is something which is kind of everywhere, right? Now, when you design as a learning professional a communication skills program, it could be at different levels.
Yeah.
Right? Now, what is that? And even we tend to kind of put everybody into one level without realizing the current or assessing the current requirements of individuals who are attending the program.
Yes.
So your box is ticked. You've done the program, whether again it's through e-learning or whatever the medium, but is the impact or outcome achieved? Right? So two learning leaders that I worked with, I would like to mention Santhosh Cherian and Pramod. They would always look at outcome-based learning, which is something that, Ravi, you would have experienced the way we looked at learning in some of the, organizations we worked together.
Yes.
And, you were people who were enablers to make the change and shift and really make learning something which adds value. I'm not a learning expert, but I can assure you my belief that learning makes a significant impact on retention and engagement and organization capability, leading to superior business results is something I don't need anyone to convince me. I was convinced about this 15 years back. I still believe that it's a very critical element that helps organization move forward.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shubhayu.